Hello and welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All. We are continuing with where we left off, solving a murder. Here. March 21st, Gateway Hotel hallway. Well, I think we're gathered about all we can. What about Mystic Maya? Is she alright? Oh, pearls. She looks so worn out by all this. She hasn't slept at all and hasn't been walking all over the place with me today. What's wrong with Nick? Let's go back to the office for a little while. You're really tired, right? Oh, no. I'm okay, really. I'm fine. I really am. You don't look fine to me. Okay, so we should get back, not talk, there. So what now? Well, we did find one thing out for sure. Miss Andrews has a motive. You mean Miss Impact's suicide note? That's right. She was also the one to discover the victim's body. Clever. Oh, Miss Nick. The transceiver. Hello? White and Code Law Office. Mr. Attorney, you're not answering a phone. Maya, where's Maya? As I promised, I have not gone within a few feet of her this whole time. Phew. Which is why I suppose she's absolutely famished. What? So I suggest you win a quick acquittal, my friend. At any cost, wouldn't you agree? Wait, Maya, let me hear her. Very well. Ask me. Maya, is that you? Sis? Ask my sis. Maya, damn it, he cut me off. Maya said ask my sis, didn't she? What sis? What does she mean by that? Come on, Phoenix. You hopeless one. Sorry, Mia? I have a message from Maya, so come ask me anything you want about her. How's Maya? She's safe for now. The kidnapper is one to keep his word, it seems. I'm glad to hear she's safe, but Mia, how did you know? As soon as she was locked up, Maya called for me. I read the note she left. Then I gathered as much information about her surroundings as I could. I didn't know you could use spirit channeling like that. Pretty smart of her. The kidnapper, what's he like? I don't know. Apparently Maya went to answer a phone call at the hotel and was drugged there. And she didn't seem to see the face of her attacker. Maya is locked up in a very dark place right now. I tell you everything I heard when I was with her. When you were with her? Date, time, location. I'm starving. I could really go for some apple pie. I mean, at a time like this, sweets are the only way to go. I have to stay positive. He promised he wasn't going to kill me. I'm not going to die. Sis, I wonder if you're with Nick right now. Someone dropped a card here. It kinda looks like a business card, but there's no name on it. It's a picture of a seashell, I think. What's the strange card? Okay. There are all sorts of things piled up here, but it's too dark to see. What's this? It feels like there are a lot of glass bottles here, and they feel like barrels. I'll pass. Too bad. I'm really hungry. I'm not really thirsty. Drat, it's locked. But this door is locked. This door's locked. Seems easy enough to open. On TV, the hero always uses a plastic card or a stiff piece of cardboard. Then click, they magically open the door. I wonder if there is a card like that around here could use. Ah, that's it. This shell card. If I use this, maybe I can get the door open. This might be my key out of her. I had a feeling this card might be useful. I'm such a genius. Alright, now if you excuse me, Mr. Kidnapper. Click. I did it. Okay, now getting the heck out of here. I shouldn't keep Nick waiting or worried. To be continued. Okay. Yeah, I like to say my process here. March 22nd, 9:47 p.m. District Court Defense Lobby number 3. Adrian did it. That's what it looks like. Dude, no way. That woman couldn't do anything like that. In court today, there will be a mountain of evidence that will implicate you. A mountain of evidence? I'm certain there is someone out there trying very hard to pin this whole thing on you. Please, Mr. Lawyer, dude. Like I said yesterday, I'm refreshing like a spring breeze, alright? I can't let any sort of scandal ruin that. I understand. Well, it's almost time. Yeah. We must get a complete acquaintance today. I know, but I can't focus on my situation right now, or Pearl's either. No matter what, I have to focus on winning this case by the end of the day. Indeed, well, let's get going. It's him. This is White. Good morning. This is Mr. Attorney, the day of the trial. Maya, she's unharmed, right? Well, when I checked on her earlier this morning, she seemed a bit, how shall I say, tired. Don't worry, people don't die that easily. Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is winning today's trial. For my sake as well as yours, you must win today's trial. Which is why I sent you a little present this morning. Present? What in the world would you want to give me? You'll figure it out once the trial starts. And if you don't like my gift, I expect to graciously accept it and win the day contest if you please. Wait. The kidnapper sent me a present. Mr. Lloyd, who was that? No one. It was nothing to do with you, so forget you heard anything. Dude, did your nose just get longer? March 22, 10 a.m. District Courtroom number 3. Court is now in session for the trial of Matt Engard. Are the prosecution and defense ready? The defense is ready, Your Honor. I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to Miss von Karma? I don't know, Your Honor. Why are you getting mad at me? Your Honor, please be quiet, bailiff. Court is in session. If you must tell me something, please keep it brief. Now then, what is it? Prosecutor von Karma has. This morning, Miss von Karma was shot by an unknown gunman. What? Shot? Somehow, I think this is the present that man was talking about. His present? Miss von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at that moment. If she was to disappear, it would be to your advantage. This is totally insane. And Miss von Karma, is she alright? I don't have that answer. She's alive in a stable condition. That's good. Phew. I thought he showed up. Your Honor, due to the circumstance of Miss Francisca von Karma cannot appear in court today, I, Miss Edgeworth, will be taking her place. The prosecution is ready, naturally. Miss von Karma was shot in her right shoulder and it's currently undergoing surgery. Luckily, I have looked this case over and am familiar with the details. The prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Matt Engard. The court acknowledged the prosecution. Right, I finally found the answer I was struggling for on my long journey this past year. By the time this case comes to an end, you too will know the answer. Now then, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand. Witness, your name and occupation. My name is Dick Gumshoe, sir. I am a detective down at the precinct for now. For now? After this... Oh god, sorry. Detective Gumshoe, the prosecution has no need for the press witness. Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Dick Gumshoe. Yes, sir. Now let's have your testimony. If we want to explore the various facets of this case, we must start with that. Get ready, Phoenix. This is going to be one very rough fight. Yeah, it would have to be with Edgeworth as my opponent. The answer he was struggling for, interesting. Show me the answer you finally found, Edgeworth. Bad fact of the case. This murder happened after the Hero of Heroes Awards ceremony, so... The victim, Juan Corrida, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. At first we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. However, later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. After the award ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room. Yes, sir. Both the victim and defendant went alone to their room, so... I see, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Will you please give us a brief timeline of what happened after the ceremony? Okay, pal. The ceremony started at 6 p.m. It ended around 8 p.m. and then there was a short break. A special post-ceremony show was supposed to start in the lobby 30 minutes later. And that's when the victim's body was found, correct? Which is to say the murder occurred during that 30-minute break period. Please continue with your testimony, Detective. The victim, Juan Corrida, was found dead in his hotel room. The person who discovered the victim's body was Andrian Andrews, correct? Yeah. Who is this Andrian Andrews you're talking about? She's the defendant, Matt Engard's manager. She's a really pretty lady, sir. She's pretty lady. I wonder if she would grace us with her presence. When the post-ceremony show was about to start, she went to get Miss Engard. After visiting his room, she next went to the victim's room to get him for the show. So, I see. And that's when she found the victim's body. After looking into the cause of death, we believe it's definitely murder. The cause of death wasn't that because Miss Corrida was stabbed in the chest. Only a careless amateur would believe something so brainless as that, pal. take a hard look at the crime photo. Now a real pro attention. No, a real pro's attention would be drawn to this bandana. Bandana? His bandana, sir. That's the thing wrapped right around his neck, sir. Oh, yes, I see. His banana scented His banana scented bandana. Then what about the knife? It seems to have been stuck in the victim's chest on the purpose after his death. We have a crafty murder on our hands here. Time of death 8:15 p.m. Cause strangled with a scarf, then stabbed with a knife. And why did you think that? Because it was empty, pal. The jamming ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar, and we couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime. Oh, then how about this theory? A fan really wanted the guitar and did the crime to get it. How's that? We thought of that too, but the only fingerprints on the guitar case were the victims. Only the victims, huh? I see. So much for my theory then. Empty, there is some water, but only on the top of the lid. It bears Corridor's fingerprints. However, we found late the carcass had nothing. What convinces you it had nothing to do with the case? The guitar? Oh. The guitar wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night. Well then, where was it? The bright red car was eventually found at the TV studio. The victim, John Corda, had apparently only taken the case with him, sir. So you mean he forgot to put the guitar inside the case? Yes, sir. Even when he was on stage for the ceremony, he didn't have his guitar. So that guitar case was empty even before he got to the hotel. Yeah, that's right. So it really had nothing to do with the case after all. I believe that's enough. First, the victim was choked to death with his bandana. Then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Which brings me to my next point. Why then did the police arrest Matt Engard? Because there was a reason enough to suspect him. Here it comes. Looks like Eggsworth's back on his in full swing. Well, Detective Gumshoe, please testify about this matter. Yes, sir. Matt Engard and Joan Corda were huge rivals with each other. They each thought the other guy was in his way. That's motive enough on my book. As for evidence, there is the jamming ninja's button. It was ripped off at the ninja costume and was found in Matt Engard's hakama. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. The defendant brought the knife for the crime, which makes this premeditated murder. So the defendant's fingerprints were found on the knife used in the stabbing. It was sort of sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty clear, sir. Bears the victim's blood and Engard's fingerprints in the grip. Gatewater is engraved. And there's this button that was found in the defendant's clothes, wasn't it? Was it? And this button also covered in blood. Yes, we know that the blood is of the victim. It's the victim's blood, sir. What? Was ripped from his costume. It covered with Corda's blood found in Engard's hakama. All of this points very clearly to the defense, doesn't it? Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor. Ready to give in yet, Wright? I'll find a hole in your argument somehow. You can press as hard as you like. Just hurry up with your usual pointless question. Why arrested Engard? Met Engard again. But in terms of popularity, Miss Engard won, did he not? Yeah, but you know what's ironic, pal? Johan Corda was always one step behind Mr. Engard in everything. This year it seems like he finally caught up, ready for the big final showdown. But Miss Corda lost the Grand Prix in the end. That is too bad. He must have been pretty downhearted after losing. Wait just a second here. Miss Engard was beating Miss Corda in the popularity polls. Well, yeah, I guess, but... Which means that in the defendant's eyes, the victim was not a rival at all. Which means he had no motive to kill at all. Yes, I quite agree. Well, detective? It's not, well... I guess if you put it that way, then yeah, the defendant would have had no motive. Detective, I'm beginning to see why you were fired. No, not you two, Miss Edgeworth. So that's... I look forward to your pension negotiation. No. No, detective. Let's continue with the testimony. Yeah. Not my poor pension too. Detective, if you value your money, I suggest you proceed. Yes, sir. We can talk about my pension later, sir. What about what I was saying? Hello, anyone? As for evidence, there's the jamming ninja button. Do you have any proof that button belonged to the victim? What do you mean, pal? Let me put it this way. I'm asking you if you have any evidence to back up your claim that this button was ripped off the jamming ninja's costume. But can't you tell by just looking at it? And the victim's blood is on it. Anyone could have smeared that blood on there afterward. Miss Edgeworth, help me, sir. Alright, I knew it had to be this piece of evidence. Now to give this one in. Fred. The button was attached to the costume by Fred, obviously. And that thread snapped when the button was torn off. If you match up with the ends of the thread on the costume with the thread on the button, it's a perfect match. Yeah, that's it. That's a perfect match, pal. That's Edgeworth for you. Never misses a beat. It was whipped out the When was this button found? Pretty soon after the body was found, we rounded up everyone who knew Miss Corda, and then we did a search on them all. That's when we found the button. So it was almost immediately after the murder. The police didn't have the free time to lollygag and play tricks unlike some people. Hey, what is he trying to say about me here? How were the fingerprints arranged on the knife? What do you mean? By examining the fingerprints, you can determine how the defendant held the knife. For example, did he hold it normally or overhand? Oh, that's what you meant. Well, we didn't actually think of that. I can't believe that bumbling of this department. Hopeless. Were you paying attention to the testimony, Mr. Wright? The defendant's fingerprints were all over the knife. There is no way to determine how the knife was held at the moment of the murder. So, is the defendant the owner of this knife then? There is no way this was a premeditated murder, even if he bought the knife. Sorry pal, this isn't some pocket knife. It doesn't fold, so it's not great for walking around with either. Well, this is not good. If the prosecution can prove it was a premeditated murder, well done for Phoenix. Yes. There's something very interesting about what the detective said just now. Think carefully before it's too late. A button covered in victim's blood. A knife with Engard's fingerprints. Be grateful if the judge were more rash. He would have already pounded his gavel in closing. We're still in a world of trouble. Well, before any battle, you must find your enemy's weakness. So let's find a weakness in this testimony, no matter how small it may be, okay, Phoenix? It was ripped from his costume. It is covered in Koda's blood found in Engard's hakama. Brought a knife for the crime, which makes this a but the cause of death was strangling with scarf and then stab. Okay. That was a complete failure. It's a knife from the hotel. Right, wait a second. What? So the basis on your argument that this was a premeditated murder is simple that the client brought a knife beforehand. That's right, pal. The defendant did not buy this knife. Huh? Take a good look at the handle of the knife and you see what I'm talking about. It's the Gatewater seal set into the handle. Gatewater. I think I heard that name somewhere before. That's the name of the hotel, the Gatewater Hotel. The murder knife was actually a property of the hotel, which means this murder was not premeditated. So that is, yes, that is very true. This is a very big. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless. What? I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined. How so? I admit this knife in this hotel property. There is no one currently on the police force that is dumb enough not to realize this. But I didn't. The question is, where did this knife come from? Why, that's obvious. It came from the victim, Miss Koda's room. Sorry, Your Honor, but that is incorrect. The victim ate a last meal before he was murdered. With that being the case, I would like to draw the court attention to what is on top of the table. There is a knife and fork on the table. Then, where in the world did this knife come from? If it pleases the court, I would like for us to call the room of the defendant, Mr. Matt Engard. Especially what was on top of his table. There is something missing. Perhaps it is a single knife. We investigated the leftover dishes for fingerprints, and while we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Mr. Matt Engard's knife was missing. Mr. Engard had gone to the victim's room with the knife he had used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife on a visit? To kill, of course. And was with that, I believe the prosecution has proven this was a premeditated murder. Amazing, Mr. Engard, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. A brilliant clear deduction. It seems like Mr. Edgeworth had the plan from the very beginning. This must be one of those traps. I just walked headlong into it. A murder weapon with fingerprints and the bottle from the victim's costume. There's quite a sizable amount of evidence here. I can safely say that any further deliberation is a waste of your honest time. Although I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to the court. Evidence not yet shown. It means evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence. What does the defense have to say about this, Mr. Wright? Well, Phoenix, the judge is favoring the prosecution right now. If we answered with something wrong here, that scale of his will be ringing out the sound of our defeat. Mr. Wright, do you have something important and necessary to present to this court? I do. There's one piece of evidence that catches my attention, something that the court has yet to see. Mr. Wright, I will say this one more time. Did you not feel this trial needs to continue? I do not feel this trial needs to continue at all. However, I am giving you one chance and only one. What the judge is saying, right? What the judge is saying, right? Don't try pull. Is supposed to be there? Yeah, it feels very. Don't try pulling one of your usual bluffs here. I mess up here. It's certain for all of us. You may now present one of your and only one piece of evidence. Now then, what is this important evidence that you must show to the court? Oh. Why? This is a wine glass, isn't it? Is it not? Please look at the photo of the crime scene one more time. The scene is a mess because of the victim's struggle against his assailant. The vase was broken, his makeup is all over the floor. There were all things that were at one point sitting on the top of the dresser. Well, yes, I see your point. However, this glass that is sitting on the top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. The only thing that had not fallen over along with everything else is this wine glass. This piece of evidence is more than strange enough to warrant further consideration. Well, what do you all have to say? Well, yes, It is a little peculiar, yes, isn't it? I thought it was. You can stop looking at me with those puppy dog eyes of yours now, Miss Edgeworth. What is it, Your Honor? Your opinion? You don't need my opinion, because there is no special meaning to that glass. What? It's safe to say that the glass was set there after the crime took place, by the person who discovered the body, Adrian Andrews, for example. She could have easily been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking. That does sound very plausible, Mr. Wright. Could Miss Andrews really have set that glass down without thinking? If I appear weak here, the trial is over. I can look for my proof later. For now, I should trust my instinct and point with certainty. This just might fall for it. They just might fall for it if you're thought-provoking enough. The defense would like to challenge the prosecution's theory. We would like to see something that proves it was Miss Andrews who set the cup on the table. You turned the situation on its head yet again, as usual. Miss Edgeworth, do you have any proof to back up your claim? There's no way he has any. He's just bluffing. Unlike Mr. Wright, I never say anything unless I have the evidence to support it. What? You're not thinking hard enough today, White. Did you think this wine glass escaped my notice? Then, of course, it has been thoroughly inspected for fingerprints. Fingerprints? There were only one set of fingerprints left on this wine glass. Only one. Well, whose were they? They were not the victims nor the defendants, whether they were of one Adrian Andrews. What? Found next to the victim, it's filled with tomato, bears Andrews' fingerprints. That is why I said that the person who had discovered the body had left it there. And are we done out here, Mr. Wright? I can't believe I fell into another trap. Mrs. Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Corridor. But upon seeing his dead body, she was stunned and set the glass down on the dresser. What you just said makes a lot of sense. How do you see? Now do you see, right? You can't change any part of my scenario, as it explains everything all too well. I thought long and hard this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor, and from here on out I will show you the answer I have come to discover. Wait a second, Miss Edgeworth. I think the prosecutor has provided enough evidence for me to enter my verdict. Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgment yet. The prosecution has yet another witness we would like the court to hear from. Another witness. Yes. Bailiff, please bring in the next witness. What in the world is Mr. Edgeworth thinking? Okay, I think this is a good place to end it. We are continuing with this next witness in the next episode. So yeah, have a great day. We see each other in the next video, and adios.